Hi, welcome to Framed. Today we have Sharon Askew with us. She's an interior decorator right here in South Bethlehem. Hey Sharon, what's up?
Hi Janice. How you doing?
Good, what's going on?
Good. Nothing much.
No, just a little busy doing your sewing.
Very busy doing my sewing.
Yeah,
Indeed.
window treatments
Yep.
and slip covers. And...
I don't do slip covers. I do, I have people who will do slip covers for me, but I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't do those myself. I've got too much business with the window treatments, really.
Wow.
Yep. Last summer, this year, for some reason, I'm thinking it's probably the whole 9/11 thing, but this last summer I was really slow. This past summer, busy, busy, busy. So
Oh, wow.
I think probably people are staying home more than going out and spending their money on vacations.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
they're
right, probably.
so, because I don't know, the economy's bad, but my business is booming, so
Oh, cool.
can't explain it. I don't know.
Well, when I met you, you were working at Calico Corners on Wolf Road.
Yeah.
And then the next time I saw you, you had your own business. You're like, I mean, I just think it's so fabulous.
Yeah, I worked at Calico Corners for 8 years, and it was a great job. Loved it there. But, it came time, to move on, and, my daughter was getting older. I wanted to be home, when she got off the bus from school, and and to have some autonomy, as far as designing goes. At Calico Corners, I had to sell their fabrics and, use their suppliers and that kind of thing. Now I can, use who I want, use higher end fabrics, and, have a little more autonomy. And I can be home when Kathleen gets off the bus.
Wow.
So,
well, if we just back it up a little bit, you went to college after high school, but you majored in English, right?
I did.
But you kind of took all the art classes on the side.
I did.
Huh?
I took every interior design class they offered, which was about 5 of them, I think. And I took art classes. And, I've always loved to do projects like this. This is a storyboard for the Vanguard Show House. When I was in high school, I was like the queen of the projects. So this was really fun for me to do the storyboard. And this is something that you do before you do a job to give the client an idea of what's going to happen in the job. I actually did the wall treatment on the poster board. I did a print room, which was decoupaging onto the wall. So I actually did that on my storyboard. And you don't always do that. You can put the samples of things and fabrics and trims and that sort of thing on there. But, I went all out on this for the show house. And then these were pictures. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them on camera very well, but these were actually photographs that I had taken before.
Okay.
And I actually, in my computer, turned them into black and white sketches and then sketched what I was going to do onto those, because this would have taken me forever to sketch these myself. So the computer has come in extremely handy.
So this was a photo, and then you sort of
photo I took.
omitted the colors
Exactly.
and whatever, and just had the lines left.
Yep, and
so
then
you
I
could
sketched
plot
in
it all
whatever
out.
I was going to do. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
so you
fun.
don't even have to think or measure it or compute.
Exactly.
Well, I guess you'd still have to
it would have
measure
been
it.
impossible to draw, the arches and everything. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of funny that the day of the Vanguard showcase, show house, I always say showcase, a friend of mine called me from Georgia that morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning. She's like, Janice, Sharon's going to be at the show house because she did this room. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I'm going there in an hour and a half. We were leaving at 10:30.
Yeah.
And she called 9 from Georgia. And so when I got to the show house, my daughter and I, looking around, and we go upstairs, and you walked up this fabulous staircase, and you couldn't help but just be taken back. I mean, when you got up to the top of the landing, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on in this area? Because it was this fabulous yellow, and I just think it just was like sunshine.
It made quite a statement. The
Yes,
homeowner
it did.
loves it.
And then the black and white, you had a lot of the black and white prints on
Right.
the wall.
All black and white
that
prints.
were all decoupaged. And it was so stunning. And the owners kept it, because after the show house, a lot of the rooms get turned into something else.
Right.
And they approached Sharon. Well, you can tell them.
Yeah, I mean, she bought, I had put mirrors on cabinets. She kept the mirrors. She kept the drapery that I had done alongside a doorway. She kept the window treatment in the back hallway that I did. And, you know, you say you were surprised that I was at the show house, but I'll tell you, I was a little surprised too. It was a kind of a last minute thing for me. I heard, you know, I've done show houses in the past for Calico Corners, and so I've worked there, you know, and sewn for other decorators for show houses. So I knew what it was all about. I'd done it before, but this was the first year where I approached them. I said, hey, you know, what have you got for me? And I specialize in window treatments. You know, even though I did my own painting, I did all this decoupaging, this was the area they had left for me, was the second floor landing. And I said, well, I need a window. I do window treatments. So they said, they gave me the back hall, but then I did a drapery on the wall on the way into the back hallway.
Yeah, I think
another way to get fabric in.
It was like a little hallway into another hall, right?
Yes, yep. And there was
That's
a
what I
window
was
there, so I did a
thinking.
shade there and used fabric on a table that she also kept. I did a nice big table skirt. It was beautiful, if I do say so
I just
myself.
know it had so much impact because,
Yeah.
like, you needed to go up those stairs. I mean, I think there were back stairs too, but this was
Right.
like the main staircase, and you just felt like you're walking into the sunshine area. It was like just really dynamic.
Yeah.
So what you would do, or what you did do, is you actually took foam core, and did you cover it with something first? And,
No, this is it's just the foam core, and then
Okay.
I painted it
Right on top.
directly on it. Yep.
And it looks like you did a faux finish.
Yes, I did.
And then you used your computer
Yeah.
to generate this for the plotting.
Right, to kind
And
of give them
then
an idea.
put all your fabric samples up. And normally you would go with this to the client.
Right.
But with the show house,
The show
you
house.
don't go to client for approval.
Well, they
ahead,
have
do
a
ya?
board. They have a show house, you know,
Oh.
a group of women who run the show house, and they get together with the homeowner, and everybody, all the designers do a board, and you know everything
Oh, I
gets
didn't know that.
Yep, pre-approved. So if there's any big problem,
Oh,
you know,
then they're not
they'll
surprised.
let you know. Exactly. So it gives them an
Oh.
idea of what's going to happen before it happens.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Okay, so you still go through the same steps
Pretty
that you
much,
normally
yeah.
would by going to speak with the client and everything.
Well, yeah,
first.
except we had a lot more freedom than you do, you know. It's a show house, so and I think a lot of people go into a show house thinking, well, I couldn't live here. Well, it's kind of not the idea. The idea is for the designers to really showcase their talents, and so a lot of the designers go over the top. This was something very different that I did. I thought it was my debut into, you know, doing show houses and being out on my own. You know, I'm 2 years now on my own, but
Oh,
this
it's
was
2
my
years.
first
Okay.
solo show house job, so I wanted to, you know, make it memorable.
Was it like a big step going from, okay, so we went from school
Went
to
from school-
working for
I worked for a designer in Greene County for
Okay.
2.5 years, and they also owned a factory that manufactured cornices and upholstered headboards and bed bases. They were like upholstered bed frames, and they did a lot of work in New York City and manufactured for them. But that's where I really learned about window treatments.
What did you do for them? Were you sewing?
No, I didn't do any sewing back
Okay.
then. Nope, it was all just, you know, figuring draper yardage. I went out to clients' homes and, you know, designed window treatments for them and, you know, did the whole yardage and
Oh, so they hired you right out to do
they
design work.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
trained
okay.
me. You know, I didn't know anything about window treatments. You know, I knew I had a flair for decorating, but, you know, they really taught me the ropes. And I was there for 2.5 years before I went to Calico Corners. And then at Calico Corners, I was there for 8 years, and, you know, I love fabric. You know, that's why I stayed, and I loved the people. Customers are great. You know, it was a fun place to work.
It's a great story. I mean, I remember calling you up when you were there and saying, like, how much does it cost to get a couch reupholstered? You know, which I'm now doing myself.
Yeah.
But it was like 10 years ago. I'm like, Sharon, how much is it going to cost me?
Yeah.
And, I mean, they do some business out of there,
Yeah,
right?
they do. They do.
So what did you do for Calico Corners? Was the same thing? You went out
I
and you
wore
designed
many hats.
stuff
No, we
and-
didn't do a lot of in-home appointments there. Really, people would bring their measurements in, and you work with the client in the store for the most part. I did do some in-home consultations, but not a lot. But I also worked in the back office for a couple of years and did, you know, receiving of the fabrics, right, making sure work orders were right. They called it the labor coordinator. So I kind of made sure that everything got put together the right way and sent off to the workrooms properly. So I learned a lot of the business end that way,
That's
as far as
good.
inventory and everything. And that's what kind of gave me the confidence too, to go out on my own. I thought, well, you know what, I've seen it all. You know, I've done the decorating, I've done the office stuff, and I think I know what I need to do to make it happen on my own. So
Because I think one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of different art-related activities, careers, is the business end that a lot of people don't have the exposure to or the confidence in or whatever, and the talent is there. The design talent, or being able to have a good eye. They have a natural talent, but when it comes down to the coordinating all the logistics of everything and getting the scheduling right, and I mean, you're a production manager is what you're doing. Because you have to keep track of everything. Where is everything?
Right.
And how much money do I have?
I think some people, get out of school, design school, and think, oh, I can open my own business.
Right.
And unless you work in the field, I think you're in for a rude awakening, because it's tricky. There's a lot to know.
A lot of the thing that's missing in the programs is taking like business law and just different business related or marketing
hands-on.
classes,
I think there should be more internships and things too. Because you can draw floor plans till the cows come home, but you need to learn how to deal with the customer.
That's what I think.
It's
is
all
really
about sales. You can design all day long, but if you can't relate to the customer and find out what they need from you, then you're not going to sell the job and you're not going to do any business. So
it's the way I look at it. I mean, I remember, because I have a film background along with art, speaking with someone at Bard College who was head of the film department, and it was all about the aesthetics of the film and the art of the film and all that. And I remember leaving there thinking, that's fabulous. I mean, that's really great, but I need to make a living and learn like the business side of it and stuff, and get into the whole management end of it to be an independent person, moneymaker.
And I knew that I had to know what I was doing too, because I'm a single mother. So it all boiled down to me. I didn't have my husband to fall back on for the income. So if I didn't make it, I was going to be in big trouble. I'd be crawling back to Calico Corners. But
wasn't that like a huge step?
It was a huge step.
Because just one of the things I admire so much about Sharon, I think is like so totally cool. It's like she's a single mom, and she was working away at a job. I want to say 9 to 5. I don't know if it was 9 to 5,
it
but
was, it was like 10 to 6. It was easy hours. But
and to just like segue out into her own business. But you felt confident. You had.
I did.
I just think it's wonderful.
I was ready. I think it was a timing thing. I had been thinking about it for years. I had always thought, I'm definitely going to do this on my own someday. And it just happened that the timing worked out. And I made the leap, and it's been a great success.
So admirable to me, because I think being home, to have your daughter get off the bus and get her on in the morning, and I just think parenting is so important, and to have the mom there with the kids or dad or both is so important.
Yep. Well, and
I just think it's so great that you were able to make your own business at home. I mean, I'm sure you have to run out and see clients and everything.
Oh yeah.
But you can do that while she's in school, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was hard when she was in kindergarten, half day. That was a little tricky because I didn't have as much time. But she was in first grade. Now she's in second grade, so she's in school all day, and it's great. And I get to be home and see her at the end of the day, and it's my mother was home for me when I came home from school, and I remember loving that. You know what I mean? You come home and there's mom, with the snack. So
and
I
you've
think
put
that's important.
together, in addition to being home, you sound so computer savvy when you're talking to me. Like, Jess, can you copy your CDs? I'm like, no, because I'm so behind with that. But you developed all your brochures and everything.
I did a brochure in the computer. I'd use desktop publishing software.
Okay.
I designed my own website with front page software, which is, a main. I don't know how to program an HTML language, which is like the computer language.
Okay.
I use the user-friendly programs, but
okay, I think it's beautiful. I mean, the colors and everything you have.
I did my cards
and the card coordinates, which I think is really important. Again, we're talking about marketing right now.
Absolutely.
But I think this is really great because you have it all tied together with your colors.
I try to keep the logo going.
The logo.
On this is my Bible. This is my book with all my customers, and it's probably too shiny on the camera, but it's
just lift it up a little higher.
It's it's got my logo on, it's got my website, and I carry this into the fabric stores, and I'm like this.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great.
It's all about,
now, what
you know,
is that book
marketing.
for? What do you have in there?
This is all of my, I bring this on all my appointments. It's got
Okay.
everybody in it, all my pending projects, and, you know, measurements, and you name it.
So
Everything's
that's
in
like
there.
your Bible.
It's my Bible. If I lost it, I'd be in big trouble.
You'd be in trouble. So the contact person, your phone number, the
Exactly. I do have-
materials.
I have a Palm Pilot, speaking of computer.
Okay.
But I have my Palm Pilot where
Yeah,
I
you're
put in
way ahead of me.
I put in names, addresses, emails, and directions to people's houses. So that
great.
if I do forget this,
Okay.
which I very rarely do, that I've got at least that, you know, I've got the information. Plus everything's in my computer, you know.
Wow. And your website is www.interiourimage.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you have samples of jobs that you've done,
Right.
window treatments that Sharon's done. You can email Sharon on that website. And I don't know, what else?
Well, you can check out some
What
of the
else
work
is
I've
on
done.
there?
I haven't
Okay.
really gotten into e-commerce yet. You know, I've got a few things for
What's
sale
that?
on there.
What is e-commerce? I don't know.
Okay, Janice.
What is that?
E-commerce is when you sell things from your website.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I put a few pillows on there for sale, but I just haven't gotten into that, you know, the whole shopping cart and, you know, the whole logistics of that. I
But
just don't have
buying
time.
your things that you've made.
Exactly.
Like through mail
Oh, yeah.
order or something.
Right.
Because I know someone whose website, if you order, he doesn't write the books, but if you order something from Amazon.com on his link on his website,
Right.
he gets a little
You get a
chin-chin.
cut. Yeah, I have that.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I have a little
Okay.
bit with, it's Barnes & Noble. So I just, what I've done is you go to Barnes & Noble as
Okay.
the webmaster, you go and you pick out books that interest you and have to do with your customers. So I picked out design books that I thought were great and that I own, you know what I mean? So I know something about them and put them on my website. They click through and pay Barnes & Noble, and then I get you know, it's a tiny commission. It's nothing worth, you know.
Wow.
But I also did that with a poster place.
Huh. Well, I think it's great to look at Sharon's website at www.interiourimage.com again. And you want to give your phone number?
Sure, it's 767-2206, and please leave a message. I'm on the road a lot. So
And what's really your focus in decorating? What's your, I know window treatments
Window
is really a
treatments,
main draw.
it really is. And you know, I've learned through the years that I need to focus, you know, and pick one thing, because there's not enough time. You know, if I tried to do full service decorating for every customer, you know, I just can't do it. I'm only one person, you know, so unless I wanted to start hiring people and expand that way, which I really can't do at this point, you know, so I try to focus on the window treatments, and really a lot of impact can be gotten, you know, with just window treatments. I'll help people pick out paint colors. You know, I'm working on a woman right now, we're doing her kitchen, and I helped her pick out her paint, and she's doing her own faux finish that I showed her how to do.
Oh,
So
really?
that I don't have to spend the time there. You know, she's a great do-it-yourselfer. She has done all of her own painting with, you know, my guidance. And I actually, you know, I made cabinet hardware for her. I did a little crackle finish on that, and I gave her all her cabinet hardware, because that's something I can do at home, you know, while I'm in front of the TV or whatever, or just at night, you know, that kind of thing. But really the focus is window treatments. But I can, you know, a few
Well, I know-
clients I'll go
Yeah,
further
even
with.
that's expanded beyond that in terms of like table covers and
Oh, sure. Bedding, you know,
Bedding
duvet
and
covers,
stuff.
dust ruffles, shams, absolutely. Shower curtains, pretty much anything that can be sewn for the home, you know, I
that's
will
what
do.
you'll do.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like is your philosophy on decorating. So you want to share that
My
with us?
philosophy on
Yeah, about it
decorating?
wanting to be fun and
Well, it should be fun. I think a lot of people are afraid to hire an interior decorator or designer. You know, I call myself a decorator. I'm not been formally trained as a designer, but I think people get intimidated, and they think that they're going to get some, you know, hoity and you must do this and you must do that kind of decorator, and that's not me. You know, I'm all about making it a comfortable place to live, you know, and making it beautiful and making it something that, you know, the customer will enjoy. I think people can relate to me. I'm a very down-to-earth person. I don't like to, you know, I don't put on airs. So, you know, I think people should have fun decorating and not get stressed out about it.
And you like it to be sort of fun, casual.
Yeah, you know, I used to dress up a lot more. When I'd go on appointments, you know, I would get all gussied up. But you know what? I find that I'm more comfortable and the customer's more comfortable if I'm in more casual dress. You know, I dress in something neutral so that I'm not flashing about in their house, because really it's about decorating, you know, their home. It's not about me and my, you know, fashion. So I try to be more understated and casual, and I think, you know, people respond to that. I've had a good response, you know, for being a more casual decorator, I think. So.
Oh, that's really cool. And you're working all out of your home.
Yep.
Which I think is like so cool. And
It's cool, but it's you know, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but.
and one of the things you were talking about with the trends too, you like to kind of stay away from things that are like way too trendy.
I try not to get too trendy, just because, you know, the trends come and go. And unless you're willing to invest a lot of money every 5 years in decorating, you know, it's just not worth it. I think you can get a lot of, you know, bang for your buck with accessories that are more trendy. You know what I mean? Like roosters are a huge craze. Roosters and dragonflies. You know, there's like, and the marketplace will be flooded with this stuff. And you can buy them as accessories, but I would stay away from doing dragonflies on the draperies. You know what I mean? There's fabrics that have dragonflies. Don't do your drapes in them, do some throw pillows, you know?
Okay.
Keep it to smaller ticket items so that your big ticket items are classics and neutral, that you can work off those years down the road.
That's a good decorating tip. So like say your floors and your walls, you would try to keep a little more conservative, more subdued.
The flooring is expensive, so the flooring's a big ticket item. Sofas are a big ticket item. Walls, you know what? Go to town, because painting doesn't cost you anything.
You're gonna
you know what I mean?
paint,
If you can do it yourself, go for it, because you know you can change the walls. And faux finishes, people love to do faux finishes. You know what I mean? It's the latest thing.
Yeah, I just think the whole faux finish on a wall, just like and murals.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know some people that do murals and want murals.
I've
and
done a
are
mural.
looking for murals.
I did a mural in my bathroom, and I'll tell you, you know, a few months after I did it, I was tired of it.
Wow.
But it's still there, you know, because I invested a lot of time into it. So, you know, you kind of have to plan ahead, and because really a mural is going to be there for a long time, because you're going to pay somebody a lot of money to paint a mural on your wall.
So your advice would really be maybe stay a little more traditional, a little more conservative on some of those things.
Conservative on big ticket items.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go wild with maybe the little accessories.
Sure,
around
accessories
on the
and
coffee table
smaller
or
items.
whatever.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea, because really things change so fast. You know, the trends change so fast, and I find myself getting caught up in them sometimes. You know, I loved dragonflies.
We're all exposed to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's everywhere. You go in the store, and the fabrics that are out one year are going to be different color variations and stuff than what's out the next year.
Right.
So you're so exposed to it, it's difficult not to be influenced by trends.
Of course. Well, and also, I mean, there's a national color board that gets together and decides what the colors of the marketplace are going to be every year.
Wow.
So it's a big conspiracy, really. I mean, so all the fabric companies, all the towel manufacturers, the accessory companies, all get together, and they have these representatives who say, okay, you know what, let's go more sagey green this year. And I'm not kidding. And accessories will be sage green that year. And so, I mean, if you're exposed to it, you know, you like certain things.
No, it makes me feel that the whole purpose of that is to get you to spend more money to
Of course it is.
right?
It's all about commercialism. Yes.
It's like, that color's out now. Now you need this other color.
Yeah, but I think, you know, if you go with the colors that you like, you know what I mean? I think you should be true to yourself and not say, you know, some people would rather die than paint their walls this bright yellow color. You know what I mean? I don't even think I would do it in my house. But so go with your gut. You know what I mean? If you see this one day and you love it, sit with it for a while and think about it, you know, and go with what's going to make you more comfortable in the long run.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice, because, you know, I'd hear so many people say, always paint your walls neutral, and, you know, a lot of conservative approach, but yet I love having my rooms different colors.
Sure.
You know, my bedroom is a blue that I mix myself, so I just think it's like the best color.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I feel really good in there. I feel really relaxed.
Right.
And
And it'll last you longer that way. If you like it.
Yeah, because I like it.
Yes,
right.
and you have a connection to that color. Even though other things are changing out in the marketplace, you're going to still love your blue, you know, which is
That's
important.
true.
And really,
That's a really good point, because a lot of people would be influenced by the decorator's advice and what's on TV, what's a trend or whatever, and then maybe a year from then they really didn't like it, so they're not going to keep
right.
it.
That's why I also say don't be intimidated by a designer, because designers will do that. Some designers will, you know, come in with their big opinion, and the customer will go with it and then be disappointed later and feel like they were taken advantage of.
Yeah, because some people that I've met, I've had a lot of people ask me, as a painter, what color should I do? Or they ask me to come over to their home and look at it, give them tips on, you know, what direction they should go in. And I think I've met some people, they're not really sure which way to go. So if you have someone with a strong personality who's going to come across and say, or very direct, you need to do it this color because this is what's in blah, blah, blah.
Right.
People are influenced by that.
Right.
And then, like you said, then later on they might be like, wait a minute,
Yeah, I think
didn't
you have to
even
know
like that.
you have to know who you're hiring.
I
like
think
you're a good person.
You have to connect with that person.
Well, right, but you
I'm
also,
sorry.
you know, you're a good person to ask about color, and people know that because you're a painter.
Right.
You know the color wheel. You know what I mean? You know what's going to go with what. And I think if people just had a basic knowledge of the color wheel, like you're saying with your blue walls, say, you know, you don't like your blue and yellow anymore. You've used all yellow accessories. You can do blue and white. You know, you can do blue and taupe. You can
That's
do,
true.
you know, there's a lot of different color combinations you can use that maybe the normal layperson wouldn't think about.
Yeah,
but if you have
that's
the basic
true.
knowledge of the color wheel, how, you know, complementary colors and that kind of thing, you can, you know, branch out from there. So.
Sharon, you are just like a fountain of information here. And I think for you folks out there, you just have to like tap into that website at www.interiorimage.com. And thank you,
Thanks,
Sharon,
Janice.
so much. It's Sharon Askew in South Bethlehem. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Janice.